To all you brilliant Latinos for Trump, I want you to take a quick peek at this tweet up here and tell me what you think denaturalization means. You can look it up, but you shouldn't have to. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now, a bunch of you are probably going to be like, they can't do that. That's unconstitutional. Tell me, who's in charge of upholding the Constitution? I'll give you a second. If you said the three branches of the government, ding, 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 you're correct. What do you think happens when you fill the presidency and those three branches with people who think like this? You did not think this through. And we're all going to pay for it.
Even, ma'am. To answer your question, what you get when you put people who think like that into all three branches of government is a very large, diverse group of folks trying to make sure that the folks coming into our country and have gotten here and gotten naturalized were actually supposed to be here to start with. The program that you're speaking of, while it was by a different name, has been around for a little bit. Now, I work for the government, okay? Now, I don't work for this particular department, but the program that you're talking about started under Obama, and it was called Operation Janus. Now, it's the same program. Some call it a project, some call it an operation. Some didn't classify it at all, but it just fell under DOJ and Homeland Security. But we'd had this program for quite some time. Obama just made it its own department. And like I said, under him, it was Operation Janus. Now, when Trump came in the first time in 2016, he expanded on the program, and it, everybody thinks of it as like Trump's, denaturalization project, but it really, like I said, it was already a thing, and it was its own entity when Trump just expanded onto it. Then when Biden got into office, Biden utilized it too. I mean, whether you agree with his immigration policy or not, he also utilized this program. He just it didn't have a name, right? It reverted back to just being under the DOJ and Homeland Security. Folks within ICE, they all kind of manage that particular department, but it's all the same program. Bar you being someone who is naturalized, who falsified your documentation, are on the terrorist watch list, or was set to be deported and you hid information like that, bar you being any of those types of people, ma'am, you have nothing to worry about, okay? This is part of our government trying to make sure that our U.S. citizens, okay, are safe. That's all this program is designed to do. I understand there's been a lot of rhetoric over the last 4 years and whatnot, but this is part of what comes with that particular job, so we can keep Americans safe, ma'am. That's all. It's nothing nefarious, okay? Have a good night.
Operation Janus, launched during the Obama administration, was a program aimed at investigating cases where naturalization may have been obtained fraudulently. Initiated by the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, this operation focused on identifying individuals who were naturalized despite having prior deportation orders or criminal records. It primarily stemmed from a gap in fingerprint data, as early cases lacked electronic fingerprints, making it harder to track individuals with aliases or incomplete records. The purpose of Operation Janus was to improve the integrity of the naturalization process by checking approximately 315,000 naturalization cases where fingerprint data was missing. The Obama administration's involvement was mostly in setting up the initial framework to investigate these cases, which later continued and expanded under the Trump administration. In 2017, the Trump administration took it further by launching Operation Second Look, a follow up to Janus, which involved reviewing an additional 700,000 immigration files for similar issues. Both initiatives led to increased denaturalization actions under Trump, targeting individuals who allegedly committed fraud during their naturalization process. 49 source, 50 source, 51 source. Operation Janus did not end, but evolved over time and was particularly active under the Trump administration. The current status of any direct successor to this program may depend on policy shifts and the level of focus DHS and the Department of Justice place on denaturalization cases under successive administrations. The denaturalization program under the Trump administration refers to an effort primarily through the denaturalization section within the Department of Justice, DOJ, to identify and revoke the citizenship of individuals who were found to have obtained it fraudulently or through misrepresentation. Here's a summary of the program. Background. In 2018, the Trump administration expanded efforts to scrutinize and possibly strip citizenship from naturalized Americans found to have lied or omitted information during their naturalization process. These efforts focus particularly on individuals with criminal backgrounds, suspected national security risks, and those who failed to disclose prior deportation orders or other issues that could have affected their eligibility for citizenship. Operation Janus. The Operation Janus initiative, launched earlier but ramped up under Trump, involved reviewing cases where fingerprint records were not available in digital immigration files. This led to identifying naturalized citizens who might have used multiple identities to conceal previous deportations or disqualifying information. Denaturalization. Section. DOJ. In 2020, the DOJ officially created a denaturalization section within its civil division, which was dedicated specifically to handling these cases. This section investigated cases where individuals may have obtained citizenship illegally, such as through falsified documents or undisclosed criminal histories. The U.S. government currently uses several programs and agencies to investigate and respond to naturalization and immigration fraud. Notable among these is the Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate, FDNS, a division of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS. Established to identify and deter immigration fraud and threats to national security, FDNS collaborates with law enforcement and other agencies to investigate suspected fraud, screen applicants, and conduct administrative inquiries and site visits. FDNS processes thousands of cases annually, handling everything from fraud risk assessments to developing strategies to prevent and address potential abuses in the immigration process. Another program under FDNS, the Administrative Site Visit and Verification Program, ASVVP, performs inspections to validate information provided in immigration applications and identify cases for deeper investigation. This includes actions like site visits, background checks, and collecting information from open sources like social media while adhering to privacy regulations. FDNS collaborates closely with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, which conducts criminal investigations when fraud is found that may also represent a criminal threat. Source 6090 source. The agency has also adopted various anti-fraud technologies and strategies in recent years, aiming to improve efficiency in identifying and investigating fraud risks. Although FDNS is currently the primary unit for these investigations, ICE and DACE also contribute resources and expertise to combat immigration fraud and safeguard the integrity of the U.S. immigration system.